Dang, that particular jingle right there, it feels so energetic and epic enough. Hey, what's up everyone? I'm Piglet here from the likes of the Mexi Toys. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the next installment of the entirety of the Donkey Kong Country retrospective Let's Plays. This time around for this year today, that we're going to be playing through Donkey Kong Country 2, Diddy's Conquest for the Super Nintendo / Super Famicom. Now this game first came out in 1995, which came out roughly the same year as when Toy Story came out on the big screen, as well as the films of James Bond's GoldenEye, not the video game version, but the film version of that specific matter, as well as Pocahontas, if I'm presuming. So either way though, enough about that particular references from films department. So yeah, this is a sequel to the films of the beloved classic platformer, which is of course Donkey Kong Country. And you remember the films about the fact that definitely has recently done that Let's Play for about a year ago right now, ever since in August 2019, despite with the actual marathon is being cancelled due to the forms of complications or anything like that. So either way, simply to tell you for this point guys, there won't be any marathons for this year either, but we will save that up until likely in 2021 if possible. So either way, let's get this thing to it with Donkey Kong Country 2. So as you can see, we can either have a choice between one player or two player team, which is essentially co-op, or two player contest. Think of like how it did in the original game, just like always. But we're gonna be obviously gonna go for one player game, just for the sake of clarity, for the sake of the forms of that, you know, the entire process goes. So either way though, and as you can see from that quality standpoint, I'm going to be playing this on the Wii U Virtual Console re-release version, just because I was originally trying to do this on my original Wii's Virtual Console re-release, but turns out it doesn't allow me to able to record footage of it. So as a result, I'm pretty much stuck with the Wii U version as it is. So anyways though, so let's get on to the first level in Donkey Kong Country 2, Diddy's Conquest, and that is Pirate Panic. And right from the start, we get ourselves an extra life if you enter there. I've kidnapped that littling fool, Donkey Kong, and you will never see him again. Captain K. Rool. That name is kind of familiar, doesn't it? Although, just like in the forms of the original Donkey Kong Country, is that basically you can able to actually enter in that particular room down there. So just in case you can able to get yourselves, well, it's to be more specifically Donkey Kong's house in the original game. So even then you can able to get an extra life there, and that's pretty much about it. So anyways, let's get on to the actual main thing itself of Donkey Kong Country 2, Diddy's Conquest. So even then though, it plays exactly the same thing of how it does in the forms of Donkey Kong Country, the original game, except a noticeable difference this time is the fact that, obviously if you couldn't tell with the actual main plot of the game, Donkey Kong has been kidnapped by the forms of Captain K. Rool. So it's up to Diddy Kong and a newcomer in the Donkey Kong universe called Dixie Kong, and as a result it's up to those two to able to save Donkey Kong by the evil clutches of King K. Rool, or in this case, Captain K. Rool, as what's known here. So yeah, as you can tell, Dixie Kong, as far as the newcomer introduced to the forms of the Donkey Kong Country universe, she used to be, or in this case, she is Diddy Kong's girlfriend. So as a result, yeah, seems very interesting in theory. And also, as you can see, we got ourselves the returning animal buddy, which appears to be Rambi, the rhino, or rhinoceros, if I like to say so. And this allows you to, once again, able to, if you're trying to charge up your, the A button, if you couldn't tell, then that way you can able to do a dash attack. So that way you can able to bust out these, not only enemies, but also the forms of help you out to try to find those bonus areas. So either way, bonus areas does make a return in the forms of this game, just like in the forms of Donkey Kong Country, except a noticeable difference is the fact that it gives us a different reward this time around, rather than just the forms of in, you remember in the Donkey Kong Country, about the fact the matter is though, that you weren't able to actually come across into bonus areas, and then all you really get is just, well, just simply just trying to find it, rather than just trying to obtain something inside the bonus area. But in this game this time around though, it's the fact that you have to get something if you really want to go for 102%, because Well, we'll figure that out at some point in the future though, whenever we discuss more about it. But even then, no, not now though, because we're actually on the beginning portion of this entire Let's Play so far. So either way, yeah, that's pretty much about it when it comes to the first level in the game, which is Pirate Panic. And yeah, that particular level does have 2 bonus areas, by the way, so even then no. And also because of how the fact that we actually come across into ourselves some interesting collectibles, which there are crumbling coins as well as the forms of the DK coins, which crumbling coins can be only obtained once you enter in the bonus areas and stuff like that, excluding towards at the very end of the world, which we'll probably talk more about it whenever we get onto it. So either way though, we're just gonna have to mention more about it until whenever we get onto the later portions throughout. So anyway, and another important collectible that we need to get is the DK coins. In this case, to be more specifically, the hero coins. So as a result, I think there are about, I would classify for saying 40 of them in total in the Super Nintendo version, because I usually did manage to practice this game on the Game Boy Advance version, so yes, this game also came out on the Game Boy Advance during in 2004, which even then though it adds new content than the likes of how it does it on the Super Nintendo counterpart. Like specifically, the returning aspect on the Game Boy Advance version of Donkey Kong Country is the photographer. Well, to be more specifically, obtain a photographs or something like that. And also they add in some new minigames and stuff like that, and most importantly, updated visuals and stuff like that. So, that's the only major difference between this version than the likes of the Game Boy Advance version remake. So, even way though, you should definitely recommend the Game Boy Advance version if you want to give that a try. So even then though, that I did manage able to fully completed everything on that particular version. So even then though, because I'm sure that Duffy has already pointed that out during his Let's Play of Team Sonic Racing. So either way, yeah, as far as I can usually think about it. So I'm obviously going to be going through, much like the forms of the past Donkey Kong Let's Play, specifically Donkey Kong Country, that Duffy has recently achieved 101% on that particular Let's Play back in 2019. But then recently, during the forms of, I would say, well, 3 months ago, that recently Duffy and Tiana has both managed to able to go on through 100% complete during the forms of in Donkey Kong Jungle Beat. But this time, however, though, for the sake of this Let's Play in general, I'm obviously going to be aiming for 102%. Ah, dang it. That was a bad fail, but luckily, just like in the original Donkey Kong Country, or Donkey Kong Country 1, basically you can able to retry those bonus areas anytime, so even then you don't have to worry about this too much, unlike Donkey Kong Country Returns, as well as Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze. They only have like 1 attempt, unless if you keep on like losing your lives until you're able to start all over again, so... Well, unless if you're able to activate the checkpoint. So either way, here we go with this next bonus area, is the fact that we need to get a lot of emphasis on that cannonball, and that way we should probably use Dixie Kong a lot more, just because unlike Diddy Kong, that usually Diddy Kong just managed to able to carry something in front of him, but in Dixie Kong's case, that she can able to actually carry something with her ponytail, which I think to me, Dixie Kong is actually probably is the coolest player to able, or the coolest character to use, because not only does she able to defend herself from the top, but it's also the fact that she can able to use probably the most useful ability in the game, and that is the ponytail hovering ability, which that allows you to able to actually hover for a few seconds, and in that way you should able to actually come across into not only just trying to jump through those bottomless pits, but it also allows you to able to make yourself safe during the forms of dangerous situations, which I think it certainly will help, because even then though, Dixie Kong, she is super cool to use, so yeah, that's as far as I can think of. Much like the forms of the original game is the fact that you can once again switch between the two as you go along throughout the sake of the entire journey. So either way though, that's as far as you can usually think about it. So, but yeah, I'll promise you guys I will be able to try to go through everything as far as possible. And I do apologize with the actual awkward commentary for this point, guys, because I know for the fact there's been quite a few days since I actually last touched upon this game though, ever since on my, again, the Game Boy Advance version that I've managed to play it on my own time. So, yeah, you get the idea for that point. So that concludes the second level, which is MAINBRACE Mayhem, and that level contains 3 bonus areas. And before we move on to the next level, much like the forms of Donkey Kong Country, you can able to meet up with Cranky Kong here, and much like the forms of the original game, he'll able to tell you some tips and tricks, but I don't feel like trying to go over and spend most of my banana coins, because yes, I got myself some of those banana coins, although I'll mention more about it until later. So first off, let's head on to the next level in this particular world, in Gangplank Galleon, which appears to be Gangplank Gallery, or in this case, Gallery. I think that's what the actual name itself of this level's called. I do apologize for that pronunciation error. So either way, I think this level does retain 2 bonus areas. So the first one we've already achieved is actually from the beginning, and also there is actually a hero coin just on top of that too. So hopefully we should be able to get ourselves hanging on to those little hooks, as you can see. It doesn't really matter if you either Diddy Kong or Dixie Kong for that matter, besides the fact that Diddy Kong can able to use his tail, and then Dixie Kong can able to use her ponytail, so that way she can able to actually hang on to the actual hooks themselves that way. So here obviously today stays the forms of the 3rd of August today in 2020. So recently about the fact that Daffy he's now recently managed to go ahead and then he able to finally going back into his redo Let's Play of Mario Party, the one that started it all, just because he can able to actually improve the actual commentary as well as the actual quality itself, which even then though, so far so good anyway though, especially noticeable how the fact that back in 2011, I mean, oh my god, I even remember dreading the actual quality as well as the commentary itself, and you know, you probably guys can definitely know why I'm getting the actual situation for that point. So anyways, before we move on, let's go ahead and take down this little tougher little Kremlings, as you can see. I don't know exactly what their names are, but I do know some of them, just like in Donkey Kong Country, the original game. So either way though, let's go ahead and use the exclamation mark barrel, and that way we'll become invincible. And the reason why we need this, because obviously for the second and the final bonus area on this level. So, and by the way, since this is the first world in this game, which appears to be Gangplank Galleon, that was usually back in new forms of the original Donkey Kong Country, the original game, the first game in the series, that, it was there, but it only happened is just shows us the actual final boss, and that's all there is to know. That if you remember from our Let's Play of Donkey Kong Country, if you guys want to check that out, that you have a one-on-one fight confrontation between King K. Rool from stealing those hordes of bananas and stuff like that for that nature. So, but in the sequel, on the other hand though, Donkey Kong Country 2 is actually now a full-fledged level with these actual levels. So, something's worth mentioning. So, let's head on to the Kong College, where this allows you to able to see Winky Kong, which she'll able to tell us if we can either save the game or even just tells you some tips and tricks for all that stuff. But let's go ahead and save our game quickly, even though it's usually for free. However, often when you spend on that, it costs 2 banana coins, which either way though, that does seems a little bit odd to say the least, because unlike in the Game Boy Advance remake, you can able to actually save your game anytime, anywhere, with anything as far as you were pleasing to. Like simply just pause the game and then just, well, it only happens in the actual world map, so that way you can pause the game and just select save game, and that way you should able to save your progress anytime, rather than just utilizing the actual banana coins to spend on. So even then though, that there's also same applies to the forms of Donkey Kong Country on the Game Boy Advance as well, so I just want to classify that. So anyway, so let's move on to the next level in this world, which appears to be Lockjaw's Locker, which this level is basically, it's like a water-themed level kind of syndrome. Like basically, once again, we have to swim about and all that stuff. And as you can see, we got ourselves another returning animal buddy, which appears to be Ungard the Swordfish. And the reason why we need him, just for the sake of, well, this level only contains 1 bonus area. So even then, though, it doesn't feel that much complicated to find around here. So at least we can able to find out as much as we'll go. So either way, though, basically in this particular bonus area is the fact that it's almost like a maze. So even then, though, once you figure out where you're supposed to go, then you should be fine for the most part. So even then, though, we can expect this much. So anyways, let's charge through here, and there we go. That's how it should be done. And so far so good anyway though, when it comes to certain collectibles so far. However, much like the forms of Donkey Kong Country, that there might be a few times that I might able to actually accidentally just miss something. But hopefully by that time, whenever we get onto the actual, whenever we get onto the future world specifically though, then if I actually accidentally miss something, then I would be able to do a massive jump cut and then just trying to find you guys. Well, at least if you have a first time playing the game, then this will be my, your guidance and stuff like that. Ah, dang it. I really hate those little, you know, stingray, kind of enemies, as you can see, because sometimes they always attempt to attack me super easily right here. Or maybe it's probably because I wasn't paying that much attention to those, swimming stuff in mind. So anyways, let's go down here, and we got ourselves on guard the swordfish again, so we can at least accept the fact that we could able to utilize them. Although before we do that, or before we continue I should say, let's go ahead and grab some more bananas as well as those banana coins. I might try my best to able to actually get the most insane amount of those you know, banana coins as I can get, just in case I can able to spend on something. Well, not all of the stuff per se, unlike the Game Boy Advance version specifically, but either way I just want to classify that, so. And yeah, the Kong letters does make a return ever since the first game, which basically, much like the forms of the original game, once again it allows you to give you an extra life if you manage to grab all of these Kong letters. So, and the reason why we need to do that particular charged up ability for On Guard the Swordfish, because that way, as you can see, we got ourselves a, what else? A hero coin. So, but if you dare to miss it though, well, there is no luck to try to able to start all over again unless if you lose a life. So either way though, unless if you grab the midway points, which is once again the start barrel, then you will be fine for the most part. So either way though, that's pretty much it for this, for the sake of this level. And every time you see the estimation mark showed up, this actually represents about the fact that you've basically just find every single bonus areas basically. So even then though, and every time you see that DK hero coins, this means you'll be kept in it forever. So even then I just want to classify that. However, every once in a while though is the fact that you can also just interact with Swanky Kong, as you can see right there, so that way you can able to participate for those quizzes or challenges or anything like that for that besides. So I don't know if I might as well able to complete one of those specifically, but I might as well show you guys off of it just in case if you about to be missing on certain stuff. But it's actually really good if you really want to go ahead and go after those extra lives. Like if you do the level 1 set of quizzes, you get like just a 1-up. But if you do the level 2 quiz challenges, you get 2 1-ups, and I suppose if you ever do the level 3 quiz challenges, you get yourselves the 3 1-ups. So, once again, they're all different colored variations, basically, just like in the original Donkey Kong Country. That's, obviously you get yourselves, the red balloons give you 1, the green balloons actually give you 2, and then, once again, the blue balloons are actually giving you 3. So even then, yeah, it's very much exactly the same as Donkey Kong Country, the first game in the series, you know, so. But you know, you get the idea for that little solution right here. So, anyway, so here we go on to the next level. As you can see, we actually on to Topsail Trouble, which either way though, we can expect we can able to deal with the forms of a lot more climbing to deal with right here. Now, presuming this level contains 2 bonus areas, so we're able to actually expecting for this much for that point. So, and as you can see right here, we actually managed to come across into a brand new animal body that has been introduced in this game, and that is the forms of Rattly the rattlesnake. That way, this particular animal body kind of feels like similar to Wenky the Frog from the likes of Donkey Kong Country, you know, the first game. That, except obviously you're actually riding on a snake rather than just on a frog. So even though it feels similarity from here, except the notable difference is the fact that, Rattly the rattlesnake can able to actually just to likely jump a little bit more higher, and especially noticeable if you're able to actually like charge up the A button, specifically if you ever played the Super Nintendo version, or else if you ever played this on the Game Boy Advance version, you have to press the R button until you're able to charge up your super jump ability, which that way it allows you to bounce even more higher than ever expected. So either way though, it seems pretty cool, but it does take a while to get a lot of advantages sometimes. But anyway, let's go ahead and grab that another banana coin, which at the moment we actually got about 11 of these now. So yeah, so far so good anyway though, so. But then again though, there's going to be a lot of times whenever we get on to the future levels that this game actually has to offer. There were a few times though that, much like the original game, that there's going to be a lot of emphasis on trial and error sometimes. But believe me, we'll come across into those in later portions of the entire Let's Play itself. And here we go with the next bonus area, which basically we need to still climb up, and while dodging those little dragonfly looking enemies. And then when you've done so already, then you would be able to get yourselves, what else? The next crumbling coin. So either way. Oh yeah, by the way, something's worth mentioning also. The fact, as you clearly saw, Journey forms have been one of the bonus areas in the second level. If you somehow get hit by enemies or even let the time run out, you get kicked out of the actual bonus area. But then again, luckily, like in the first game, is the fact that you would be able to retry those anytime. So even then though, that way you won't have that much trouble with, unlike, let's just say in the schizophrenic, Donkey Kong Country Returns, as well as Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze. But then again, we'll point those out whenever we get onto those Let's Plays of those, respectively. So either way though, let's go ahead and time ourselves to get ourselves a, well, just a banana coin. I was expecting if I was going to get myself a G letter, but oh well, beg yourselves can't be choosers, I suppose. So when you reach to the very end of that specific world map, before we get onto that, here's the forms of Funky's Flights 2, which is basically more likely the sequel to Funky Flights from the original game, that this allows you to once again travel for those previous worlds or the new worlds that we like to explore, but there's nothing we can do about it at the moment, just because we've always still stuck on one world. So here we go, on to Crow's Nest, in this case the first boss in the game. And it appears to be Crow himself. So basically, I would suggest you're able to recommend Diddy Kong for the majority of the battle. So basically, all you need to do in this entire battle is very simple by the looks of it. That we need to let the actual eggs decide to able to actually just to go just like that. And then if you try to deal the damage on a crow, then you have to carry the egg right back at him, and then it deals the damage. So even then though, although the actual crow will somehow drop the egg first, and then once it starts to stop bouncing and stuff like that, and when it starts to go directly onto the floor, then it's your chance to able to pick up the egg, and then that way you can able to either throw it at the crow, or you can able to just carry it and then just, well, barely almost touched him. So even then though, definitely one of the easiest fights in the game, but even then though, that's just something's worth mentioning for this point. So anyways, I think this will be the last hit, so there he goes, Crow. And there we go, the first world has been fully completed. So even then though, yeah, it's not too bad though, especially noticeable with no deaths on it so far. And every time you defeat those bosses, you get yourselves a crumbling coin, by the way. So I just want to classify that. So look at all this entirety of this Darkness Grim. Journey forms the entire world map screen, as you can see. So I digress. So I think we should probably end things off at this point right there, I'm afraid, guys. So join me next time on Let's Play Donkey Kong Country 2, Diddy's Conquest. It's the fact that we're going to be hit on to the second world in the game, which is Crocodile Quadrant. So I'll see you guys until probably on Wednesday. So later, fellas.